Hello, everybody. This is Dane Gentry with the Dane Gentry Podcast. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. As y'all know, if you've been following me the past week or so, I've been on a Alabama penitentiary kick. A lot of different stories coming out of it, and I've been saying the whole time I needed an inmate, or excuse me, a convict, and or a prior CO. And I've had a few people lined up, and everybody else bounced on me except for one man right here, y'all. This is Travis. He is a former Alabama convict. The end of the story is the best part of it, in my opinion. But we're going to expose and talk about Alabama, man. What's going on, man?
Hey, yeah,
All
man.
right. So let me ask you, real. So how old was you when first time you went to the penitentiary?
I was, let's see, 24. It's 2024 now. I'm 42, so 12 years, 31.
31. All right, man. You're 31 years old. You walk
Yeah.
into the Alabama Department of Corrections. Tell me about your first day from county jail to the Alabama Department of Corrections.
All right. They wake you up at the county jail, of course, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, get you on that train, and they take you to Montgomery, Alabama, to Kilby Reception. All right. That's a level 5 or level 4, too, by the way. And
All right, hold on. Level 4, what's that mean? Because there's a lot of people ain't gonna know what that means.
so in Alabama, level 5 is death row. That's like the highest level you can get. That means you're either in murder dorm, rapist. They can't put you in population or whatever. But
Right.
usually, uh, level 4 is you're behind the fence. That's where I was.
Okay.
Uh, I had escape charge. That was the next highest level up under level 5. And
Okay.
so you go there to Kilby, and the first thing you got when you get there is they start processing you. They cut your hair, shave your head, shave your face. They check your butthole, throw that white powder all over you. What's it called? Lye or whatever.
Yeah, they check your butthole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 They like
All
doing it.
right.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so you get done with that, you go to reception dorm. And when you're in reception dorm, you're looking at the ceiling, and all you see is this rust pipes busted open, water dripping from the ceiling into the floor,
Damn.
mopping up the block walls, and you're thinking, oh my God, what have I got myself into, right? So,
Right.
because growing up, man, I never got in trouble. My daddy was a state trooper, my brothers were cops, and when I was 19, I went to the Navy and I broke my neck, and the doctor gave me a pain pill,
Mm,
Lortab, and I didn't even know what those were, but
right.
I took a Lortab and a Soma and I got addicted, and one led to the next. When I got locked up, I was eating probably 60 Lortab 10s a day. If I couldn't find those, I was eating methadone, Suboxone, shooting
Yeah.
dope, snorting dope, But back to the prison thing. When you get there, you got a couple black fellas gonna walk up to you and they're gonna say, "You want me to run your store for you?" Or you've already heard about all the tricks, and
Yeah. Run your store though. So they're saying what they do you want them to fill it out for you?
yeah,
Okay. Because you don't know what you're doing because you're brand new. Okay. They
but
want to help you.
yeah, yeah, but in the end, you got to pay them for it, one way or another. You know
Mm.
what
Oh yeah.
But after that, they start coming up to you. The sissies will start coming up to you. Finding out if you gay, straight, bi, what.
Damn.
And the next thing you're gonna have is you're gonna have to get affiliated. Well, you don't have to get affiliated, but if you can't ride with yourself, rock with yourself, you need to. Because
Right.
ain't no joke, man. If you're a little skinny white boy, you're gonna have a hard time.
Right.
And
Okay.
but I wasn't. So believe it or not, I never got affiliated. I just kept to myself. I didn't have but 2 years to do so.
Right.
Um, anyway, so the first night I was there, I found out what the sissies do. They take these big mouth Gatorade. Oh, let me explain the dorm. The dorm's about 200, 250 people in a wide open dorm with 1 to 2 police watching the whole thing. And
See.
most of the time, they're not even in the cube watching.
Mm-mm.
Most of the
See,
time, they're
we don't.
walking around fucking off or screwing off. Excuse me. Uh, But
You're all right.
my,
We don't have open dorms here. Like I told you while ago, when we was talking, we have two. There's two pods, and one of them's an annex, and one of them is at Trousdale. It's supposed to be for the workers, but I would not want to be I would not want to be in an open bay like that in the penitentiary. No way. I saw it. I saw when I was looking up that story about that Daniel Williams kid. I saw it, and I was like, man, they had them packed in there like,
yeah,
yeah, I
he was
saw it.
it was at Staten, and there was a guy down there at the camp that I finally wound up at. His organs was missing.
That's
When
crazy, man. They're selling people's organs, and this is not. Look, you can go and
you can go,
anybody that's watching this, if you hadn't been following me, I've kind of been talking about this a little bit. I haven't really even got on the organ deal, but I have looked at it and read it, and that's a real deal. With the
it's
University of Alabama, man, that's legit. It's a legit thing, and they're saying that because they signed to donate their organs, they're property of the state.
yeah,
Is what they're saying, and that they can get away with it. And this is a true thing. So when their loved ones are dying, they're getting their bodies back and their organs are missing. And this is real.
that's exactly
Um,
what happened. They got his body back and his organs gone. But
all
anyhow,
right. So the first, so
the
you're in
first,
an open dorm. First
yeah,
of all, you're in an open dorm. All right.
yeah. So all you can see is the bathroom. I want you to picture you're in this big open dorm, and you got a rack maybe 5 feet from the bathroom in the shower. So anybody that goes use the bathroom, takes a shower,
Right
no
there.
sees it. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the first night that I learned that sissies in prison use big mouth Gatorade bottles to douche with. And you have to watch that stuff, man. It's something that I never even knew existed until I went to prison. I knew, that gay men, clean themselves out. But I mean, you got sissies sitting on the toilet, same toilet you got to use with a big mouth Gatorade bottle squeezing a whole Gatorade bottle,
Hell no.
you know. So I see
Mm.
these little sissies go in the shower and, do
Yeah.
voluntarily, and I even seen a couple do it involuntarily.
Raping them.
Unless you want to get jumped or jumped on, you don't get involved, man. You know,
So let me ask you this. So when you said when you get there you're gonna have to join or whatever if you're a little skinny white kid. So what is the options in Alabama? What is the organizations down there?
Southern Brotherhood, Aryan Brotherhood, Kansas City Royals, for the whites.
Yeah,
They got something called Gay Boy. That GBG, that's a real thing.
gay
Gay
boy. Man,
GB.
Alabama, y'all need to cut that shit out. Wow. Wow.
And
Man, this, and people may think that I'm just whatever, but listen, bro, I'm gonna say this again for everybody to hear. In 21 years, I've done 21 calendars. I do not know of one person that ever got raped. Not one, swear. Now, there was a case of it when I was on Max. They brought this two boys down there, but truth is they was just lovers and got caught when it
yeah,
all come out. All right, but that's it. That's the only one. Now, I got another buddy. His name's Mike Ford. He was on my podcast. He did 29. He did 29 straight. And he'll tell you the same thing. It don't go down like that. And all this you talking about, these over here doing that. Well, see, we don't have a a toilet out in the pods because it's 2-man cells. Everything is 2-man cells unless you're on Max. It's 1-man cell.
uh,
And Close used to be also, but I think they've done away with that. I don't know. Anyway, so we don't have that problem. And so you're telling me I'm in the pod or in this open bay with 200 people, 250 people, and toilets and all that, and you got these dudes over there doing that. And when you come in the door, they're asking you if you're gay, straight. See, in Tennessee, when you come through the door, they're asking you what you are or what you're affiliated with. They're not asking you if you're gay, straight, or bisexual.
it
it's
happened.
a, that's a trip, man.
I tell you, the first guy that ever, I still remember his last name. Last name was Petway. Petway. That was the last name. Dude that asked me, did he want me for him to run my store?
Yeah,
No, in Kilby, you don't stay there long. You stay there like, maybe longest maybe a month, maybe a month, and waiting to go to your permanent camp. You
right.
get classified. But when I was at Kilby, I only seen one sexual assault happen, and that was actually a black on the black guy was doing the assault on a little white guy, and it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's supposed to be racked out, and all of a sudden you hear hollering, screaming, and the guards are doing God knows what, but you can't do nothing, man. You can't, and it's sad, man, because like the ones that usually have it happen to them are people on the outside that don't got nobody.
Well, let me ask you this. I ask you something I go for a reason, or on purpose. I ask you about the organizations, the white ones, and I ask you that for a reason. Why? What is their purpose? What purpose do they serve?
Well, I guess the kids that I'm talking about that's getting assaulted, they gotta they, they I don't want to say they put themselves in that position, but they
I
don't.
know what you're saying. I know
Yeah.
what you're saying. Okay. All right. So
So you're not
if
gonna.
let me ask you this. So say you walked into your regular penitentiary when you get there, right? And
Yeah.
somebody come up and tried you, but no matter if you got your ass handed to you, as long as you stood up for yourself, would these other boys ride with you from there on out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They would. That's something that they would do. But if you in there trying to make it how you can, and you sucking, or
Yeah.
you know to
Right.
get stuff, they ain't nobody gonna affiliate with you.
No, ain't nobody gonna help you. I know what you're saying there. I understand all that part. I
Yeah.
get that. Yeah.
But when
Oh,
I got to my permanent camp, Ventures Correctional, that's when it got real bad, man. And when you get to Ventures, you get transferred. You ain't gonna believe this, but they take you straight out of reception, and they got what they call F dorm down there at Ventures. It's red dorm. That's all the rapists, the people that's got like life without parole, that's exercised their custody. They put you in that dorm with them while they're classifying you to put you in your regular dorm. So
what?
I swear, I swear,
Man, that don't make that. It just makes absolutely. That just seems like it just all on purpose there.
yeah,
That's
and,
like that Daniel Williams kid. That dude that done that to him had 9 prior cases,
yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
and the warden, and the psychiatrist signed off on his. Said for 5 years he had a zero record. He was a model inmate.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Them exercising their custody,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know that was when I first seen like it really get real bad, like the assaults. Uh,
yeah.
I even asked one of them white kids. He was openly gay, cis, whatever. I said, "Are you like this on the streets?" He was like, "No." He said, "I got a wife and kids at home." And I'm thinking, "What?"
Damn,
And I said, "So you doing this in here and gonna go home to your wife?" And he's like, "Yeah." He said, "She can't support me. I gotta support myself somehow." And I said, "Well,"
damn.
and I even asked him. I said, "Well, don't it hurt?" He said, "Yeah, to begin with." And I was thinking, "Oh my God, right?"
Mm-mm-mm.
They even got rules, man. If you smoke behind one of them, drink behind one of them, and they don't tell you, then if you don't whoop them, then you just like them. The stupid prison politics, man.
Man, that's when I went to jail. I went on a run and I went to Arizona,
Yeah,
and I got the U.S. Marshals arrested me out there, and I never been in jail. I was in jail in Texas, but it'd been years ago. And I get in the pod, and the next day, some dude comes up to my door. They had it where top was out, and then bottom would come out. I was
yeah,
on the bottom, and dude was on top. And he come up to my door, and he said, I don't remember his name now. He said something, some kind of nickname, that he was the head of the whites. And I said, congratulations. And I said, what's up? You a patch holder or whatever? And he didn't know what I was talking about. And I said, man, get off my door. And then he come back talking about everybody there had to pay a tax or whatever. And there you could get internet commissary there. Your people could order your commissary right now. And you get it in the morning. They'll bring it to you safe. But
wow,
anyway, and that's what had happened. He seen that. So I told him, I said, well, I'll tell you what, it's right here in this corner. Get this door open. You come on in here and get it. And then he didn't want to fight anymore. But yeah, that's the shit they got going on. This politic and shit you're talking about, right? Like
yeah,
he's supposed to be your voice and all. I was like, man, get out of here. You're a nobody in the county jail. You're going to tell me you're tripping. And I just didn't like that shit at all. Now, some of the stuff that they were doing out there is cool because a lot of shit like we're talking about in Alabama wouldn't be going on out there. Now, it would be the same way. They put themselves in that position.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to be. But you know what I'm talking about there. But
Oh yeah. Yeah. And see that's when I was there. I seen a guy get a broomstick by three blacks shoved up his rectum, coming out his stomach, like it perforated his stomach,
mm,
and where they had chopped the end of it off.
mm.
Um, I seen a guy. If you want to talk about like conditions too, I seen a guy seizure out, and the CO's not even helping, and it was 30 minutes before they come got the guy off the concrete in the yard, and dude was dead.
What do they? So you're in these open bays. Y'all have yards out there and stuff to go outside and stuff.
Get to go outside for an hour, 2 hours sometimes, but mainly an hour a day. And even on the yard, they probably got two police.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a normal thing here. Like our pods here have can't believe I don't remember 122 or 26, depending on the pod. Some of them I think, or is it 132? Maybe 132 actually. Um, and there's only one police in that for that many in a pod.
yeah,
Yeah, but again, it's sales. It ain't open, so that's even more. You know how loud it is. It can be in them pods, and if we want it to be loud for a reason, we can get it. And if we're up in that corner, and I got that piece of metal to you, that police is never going to hear you down
right.
there. And
That,
even if they do, by the time they get there, it's over with. There ain't nothing you can do. Especially if I got you in that cell, you ain't getting out. Every
it's,
now and then they run out and get out. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah,
I would this open door, that's the first thing they need to be changing in Alabama. But I think it's that way in a lot of states, man. Because I've heard, like, we was talking about that martial law stuff, and dude's like, well, how are they gonna have them locked down? I said, well, hell, if you lock down at night, you're already locked down. he
yeah,
said he said there ain't no more cells nowhere in the United States. And I didn't even comment no more back to it. What's the point? What I mean? But anyway, uh,
yeah.
people know it all right, man. So let's say that you're out on the yard and something happens, a bunch of people get into it. How long would it take the police to get that under order?
It actually happened one time. I'm gonna say from start till everybody hit the ground and everything was broke up. I would say probably took them a good 10 minutes. A good,
Yeah.
10, and it shouldn't have took that long because a lot can happen in 10 minutes, man. A lot.
So all right, everybody's been sending me a lot of stories about Alabama, and a lot of it is about two things: sexual assaults and people getting beat. All right, so in your time there, did you ever see anybody that wasn't in debt or something like that just get jumped on just for what? Are they robbing people? Like from the time you get there, are they on your ass? How is it?
I'm gonna say it because I don't care what people think about me. All right, so you can go watch my TikToks. I've said it before. I call it like I see it. And
Yeah,
the prison, and let me say this before I say what I'm gonna say. You got ignorant blacks, you got ignorant whites, but in prison, you got more ignorant blacks than you do ignorant whites. And in prison, the blacks that I've seen personally, that I personally seen, I'm gonna say 90% were wanting to do three things. They was either wanting to F a white boy, F a white girl, or they wanted to murder, kill, or steal. That was it. They didn't care about getting out. They didn't care about getting programs. They didn't care about doing right. They were constantly wanting to do one of those three things. That's all they talk about. And,
damn.
and I mean, that's the way I seen it. I'm not saying that to be racist or whatever. That's just a fact.
Yeah, I don't think that you're being racist. And anyone who does, let me say this: if you ain't never been in the penitentiary in Alabama, you can't sit there and say that to that man because you don't know the living. I don't know the living conditions there. No one does.
And you don't see
Um,
whites sexually assaulting the blacks. It's always the
I
black.
already know. I already know that. Yeah.
And they even try to put most of the whites in a dorm, what they call the honor dorm. That's after you did your program. It's sort of like a safe dorm.
Right.
You got a fence around it. You go out in the fence to smoke, do your stuff. Nobody can get in that dorm.
They let y'all smoke?
Yeah, yeah,
They took it out of Tennessee.
really. You can
Hmm.
get roll ups. That's it.
You used to get dip, chewing tobacco, cigarettes, roll ups. Yeah, all that. Big box of matches. 2007, I think 2007, six or seven. They took it out.
I tell you how bad it is. One night we was all sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden we heard fight, fight, fight. A dude from another dorm had run in our dorm. No police. Chained the door, took a padlock, and literally beat this dude's face in until his eyeballs were hanging.
Mm.
And you know how the police got in? They had to break in the door.
Because he put a chain on the door and put a lock on it, so they couldn't get in the door.
Right. I mean, that's how dangerous it is. No kidding.
So
I mean,
you can't even do shit like that to our doors. You could put, yeah, you can't even do that.
uh,
I've seen them.
happened. I seen a guy get his throat slit. He bled out right in front of me. Maybe 20, 25 minutes goes by before the police even walk through the door and find him laying there. Because, you know, nobody's going to tell. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Uh, you, I mean, all during the night, you'd hear, you know, clap, 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 clap. You know, police supposed to be doing the rounds. They ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Uh,
they ain't doing nothing.
Nothing. And honestly, man, it's mainly blacks that run our prisons in Alabama. Um, Most prisons got black wardens.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and they just brush the stuff off. And something definitely needs to be done. I seen a guy that was up there at Staten also. When he went in, he was real healthy, man, real healthy. And dude's in like a wheelchair, like a paraplegic or something now. I ain't met
Damn.
here.
Damn. So, all right, let's talk about that. Medical.
Yeah.
Medical. What's the medical like?
Pulling teeth, like getting good medical treatment is like pulling teeth. It's hard to do, and say you're diabetic, you might as well go on write your will out. If
Mm.
you got cancer, you might as well go on write your will out. You ain't gonna get what you need. Uh, if you're in real bad pain, you gonna get a Tylenol or ibuprofen. Um, Hell, even when the dude, I knew a guy that got his face beat in, broke his jaw. Right? You know what they did for that man? Sewed his jaw shut, threw him in a cell, and forgot about him.
Wow.
I
That's
see
pretty
another
bad.
guy got threw in a holding cell and hung himself. They didn't find him for 2 days.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a few times. I've seen them be in there for hours and hours hanging, and police didn't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
and people are like, well, they had to bring him food. No, they don't. Piss them guards off. You won't eat.
what? That's a common. That right there. That's here. What became popular here was uh, people jacking off on the police,
Yeah,
uh,
that's
and
popular.
they would jump out on them, or whatever. They'd be there doing their walkthrough, and they'd be in there in the dark and cut the light on. So try to force these women and dudes too, I reckon, a lot of them. And then, so what they got to doing is, if you did that, they would send you to Morgan County. Morgan County is where our max and stuff is now. It's if you hear about Brushy Mountain, all those officers now work at Morgan County. And so when they get you there, they snatch you off that bus and they take you back there to the hole where ain't no cameras at, and they beat the shit out of you. And then on camera, it shows them giving you a styrofoam tray. Everybody's on a styrofoam tray back there, but there ain't a crumb on it for 3 days. You will not eat. Next
Yeah,
time you come back, you better not come back. Just plain and simple. You know what I mean? But they will. It's sick, man. That's animalistic shit. That's a fucking animal. Why? You
and,
know, people
and,
can get mad. They can say whatever, but
and
if
it's
you're
like,
if you're that fucked up in the head over women or whatever that you're gonna stand there jacking off butt ass naked and just jump out boo at a woman, that you have to be twisted in the fucking head, man. Something's wrong with you.
uh,
You're not thinking like a normal person, man. If you'll
exactly.
do that shit, if you'll do that, you will rape women, period,
Yeah,
and men.
either
Um,
one, it don't matter.
I've
And
seen it happen in the Whimsy County Jail. There was uh, she was a food stewardess, man, and she was a Colombian. And I'm not gonna lie, she was a sexy woman. I mean, sexy, but she was a cop, and she walked around. I was walking around with her, and one of them did it, and she street charged and everything for it. She was not having it. But
Yeah, I seen that happen a lot on the yard. We had a black woman warden, and them old dudes sit over there on the benches, jacking off, looking at her. And the big thing down here is like throwing urine, throwing semen, uh, throwing feces, uh, all of it, man. But the living conditions are horrible, man. I mean, people want to call you an animal and say, "Well, you deserve it." Like I said, I went to the Navy straight out of high school, man. Broke my neck. Got a doctor, somebody you're supposed to trust, gave me medicine, not telling me that it become addictive,
yeah,
and ruined my life. I mean, and people want to say, "Well, you could quit." No, it's not that easy. If it was, everybody would quit. The withdrawals is what keeps you on it.
everybody. I was going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's what it is. That's why, as an opiate addict,
Yeah,
that's why I don't see me now. Don't get me wrong. I've done meth and stuff. Now, I never was really a cocaine guy at all, but meth, I did get on meth. But as far as not being able to put it down, no.
yeah,
Like the opiates, that was the driving thing for me was a sickness.
yeah.
The other shit's just a mind game, and I got a strong ass mind. You know what I mean? I can, what I mean? That's why when I get sober, long as I stayed on that right track, and I knew this for years leading up to it. You know what I mean? And then once I finally hit them knees and said I'm done, I knew I was strong enough in my mind that was that. It's just a mind game for the rest of it here on out now.
I could quit everything but the pills,
Yep.
and,
Yep.
and because of the withdrawals. But everybody's saying that you chose that. I didn't choose that shit. I didn't want to be addicted to painkillers my whole life. Uh, I didn't choose that. Now, did I
No.
choose to stay on them? Yes, I did. But there again, it was a medical issue for me that I couldn't quit.
Right.
And like I said, I've never got in trouble my whole life, man, never. And the first time I ever got in trouble, I caught 10 felonies, and that's what I went to prison for. I had 5 burglary thirds, 2 receiving seconds, theft first, theft second, and escape third.
All right. So you had all property crimes. That's what that is here. Property crimes. That's the smallest charges you can get.
Yeah,
And they put you in a pod of 200
murder,
murders.
killers, rapists, you know, because I had to escape charge.
Yeah, I had one of them too. Look, I only got to go minimum security one time and all that time myself because I got that escape right off the bat. I got that 3 months in being in the penitentiary,
Yeah,
and from from that point on, it was over with. On going, then I got some assaults and another escape added 5 more points on me. So you know the deal. So what the food, man? Let's talk about the food. How they feed y'all?
um, now the food's good. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Damn.
Breakfast, you get that old sloppy oatmeal or sloppy grits, with a biscuit, piece of sausage, whatever, some eggs. Uh, the worst part was supper. You'd get what they call meat patties, and on the
Mm.
actual box, I've seen it with my own eyes. It says not fit for human consumption.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they got that same meat. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen them.
Yeah, and
They're
so
like a breaded. They're like a little breaded peppery like patty. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and that was
yep.
every day almost. Except on Fridays you got chicken, but
Chicken on the bone.
yep, chicken on a bone.
They quit serving it, and they still serve it in CCAs, I think, but they quit serving it in TDLC here.
Oh yeah, probably.
Somebody got stabbed. Somebody got stabbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Chicken bone.
and then the drug problems. The police, they're just as dirty as the inmates, man. Cell phones everywhere.
Well,
More.
see, now I'm glad you brought that up, man. Not to cut you off,
Yeah,
but that's what I kind of want to say something about that part of it is that me, I'm a convict, and if I got all that time, I want to have something to do in there. So
yeah,
all that, the phones and getting you some tobacco. See, here tobacco's a big thing because we can't have it. So all that, little bit of the devil's lettuce, whatever. I don't care about your countrymen doing all that. I'm talking about people getting raped and stuff.
yeah,
That's the stuff I trip out on. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
man, I'm not mad. And people can say whatever. I'm not mad at the police for making money.
No,
For that either. Not at all. I don't blame you. For the job you had, but at the same time, You know what I mean? This other shit going on's got to stop.
Well, I
And
brought that up to compare the two because you like you said, you got people judging us.
mm-hmm.
The only difference between us and them, they didn't get caught.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's right.
That is it.
That's it. You're
Most of
right.
these people that are cops, I guarantee you, they stole something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of dirty cops. I've known a lot of dirty cops throughout the years. I knew a state trooper that would never mind. But anyway, it doesn't matter about that. I shouldn't have said all that, but he's dead and gone anyway, don't matter. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
yeah,
um what is are y'all's prisons real old or they
they are, man. They really are. You know, Atmore, that's our biggest death count. Atmore's been there freaking. Man, I don't know how long Atmore's been there, but it's made out of them old bricks, like them old white bricks you see, like in a western.
yeah. Yeah.
Atmore's made out of those.
Damn. And it looks like old airplane hangars, man, is what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
Like a see,
yeah.
ours is like a concrete building. Like it'll be one big building and have two sides. You'll have a unit here and a unit here.
Divider down the middle.
Oh, well, this one just has center core, like where the offices and stuff are at. And then it has, like I said, you walk in the unit, you have an ice machine, and then you have a little laundry area. Well, it used to be what's like for your ironing boards and stuff like that. They got iron, you got irons, you can iron your clothes. Yeah, and then it sells, like I said, it's two-man sales. But, you know, some of them are wild now. You know,
But yeah,
they're
it happens, man. Uh, it's almost it's almost every day that people are getting this.
hey, can you stop that beeping, whatever that beeping is?
My
Yeah.
man, it just
Yeah, all
started.
right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's almost
Um,
every day,
so
and nothing's done about it.
in 2 years, how many people you think you know of it died while you was in there?
Died at least, not counting the guy that got shot climbing the fence, but say
Damn.
medical and getting beat to death, and there was a couple that died from getting sexually assaulted, but I would say at least 11.
11. That's high. You know, in Tennessee, man, you have a lot more stickings than you do. And don't get me wrong, they dying now, but you have a lot more stickings than you do. But it's getting worse and worse in Tennessee. It kind of Tennessee, if you know the history, like if you know the old heads and stuff, it kind of went like the walls and all that, and the brushy back in the days. It was them camps right there was no joke. You know what I mean? Then it seemed like it kind of went through a calming down era or whatever a little bit, but now it's all young, it's all gangs, and it's just completely different. Like here, check this out. So I'd like to know how they do this in Georgia. So here now, what has become popular is because this white dude stabbed another dude and killed him while he was going to the shower or coming out of the shower or something. And so now what it is when you these gang members and stuff, they come out, you hear somebody holler shower, and that means that somebody's being escorted to the shower, and you got to move out of the way because they're being escorted. Like I'll have somebody walking with them, and then walk them down the bottom of the steps. They get picked up by one or two more people, and then one or two will stand outside the shower while they're in the shower.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so, and
That's
I was like, I come back and went for her. I said, "What the fuck are they talking about?" I was like, "Man, what is this shit?" But anyway, yeah. So it's I guess one way to look at it is you got these dudes, man, in Tennessee. What the problem is that you got these kids, man, 15, 16 years old, and they're getting these life sentences. And in Tennessee, a life sentence is 51 years before you can go up for parole. All right, 51 years, you can, yeah, yeah. And so that's all that's in the penitentiary. And they're in there for life, and they're going to live, they want to try to live as close to the life that they lived on the street in there. And so, you know, um,
well,
if you go in any of them and you go in there getting in debt, and then you call your mama and your daddy and you tell them how bad they've been treating you and all the shit they've been doing to you, be sure to tell them that part too,
right. Yeah.
because that's where the story gets distorted at. Even what we read. And I'm not saying, so please, y'all, I'm not saying that's been the case with any story that I've done. And
No, it's
please
not.
don't take it that way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
It happened.
and some of it does happen, man. And we don't, and it's not always seen. And that's what we're talking about when people put themselves in that position. Or when they sit there and let one of them predators groom them, just like a predator would groom a child on the street. Think of it that way. It's the
Hey, you
same thing.
You need this? I got you. It's okay. I ain't gonna want nothing back. I promise.
Yep. And
Take it. Let me help you.
down there, they're not giving out no parole down there either.
No,
And that's in the news, and everybody knows this. This is like you can look that up and see that Alabama is not giving parole. Why? Because they're building that big brand new prison down there, and they need to be. They're not trying to let nobody go.
they need to fill it up. They get
They
paid.
want the money, man. They want it's money. Nobody can deny that all this is about money, man. Every bit of it. Old man told me a long time ago. He said, "Welcome, son." He said, "You're the new cattle."
Yeah,
And that's a fact. We got these companies in the United States of America that do nothing but supply prisoners with their commissary, with their packaged stuff. Without seeing Tennessee, you can get a TV and stuff. Here, you can get TV, radio. I don't know if you can down there or not, but anyway, and so there's companies that provide that for prison. That's all they do. So the United States economy is banking on prisons, man.
yeah. And in Alabama, you're gonna sit at least a year to 2 years before you go to court in county jail.
It's, it's a you're going to do it would depend, but if you're in Williamson County, you're going to do about 9 months before you get a legitimate offer.
Yeah,
Used to be. Now I haven't been in trouble. Now, I ain't got no new cases since 2012. 2013 is my last conviction, but
2012 is when mine was, man. See,
no
look,
shit. Yeah,
I
that's
swear
when
to
I
God.
caught my. I actually caught my charges at the end. Well, mine was kind of a year long deal. I had a bunch of sealed indictments on me, but
Yeah,
um, I got them in 11, but I got convicted in 12, and then got convicted again in 13 on some more. But that was it. Yeah, it's
uh,
enough there.
speaking of when I got cleans when I got locked up, and you're just talking about medical. Um, I laid there and about died, literally.
Detoxing.
Yeah, I had to be
Yeah,
rushed to the ER in the back of a cop car. Not they couldn't even wait on the ambulance
damn.
for shutting down.
Yeah,
And you want to talk about medical? I laid there for at least 4 days, just dying. I mean, that's all. That's the only way I can describe it. You know?
and that right there is the same everywhere. I know in Florida now they'll give you Suboxone, but hell, with that fentanyl, you can't take it. You can't. You might as well lay there and go through the week of withdrawal because you're gonna have to anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you take it too soon, you're gonna go into precept. Now, I don't know if you ever know what that is, but I doubt you do because that was before. Um, yeah,
Pre-
precip is this is what it is. When you do an opiate, right, it
yeah.
binds the receptors in your brain. So you have heroin, you have pills. All right, these are all short or long acting, but short. It's hard to explain. They're long acting something, but short on the receptors on your brain, so they don't stay there that long on your brain, right?
Right.
Fentanyl binds to them and stays longer. So if you're on fentanyl and you take Subutex or Suboxone, people are going to say you can take Subutex. No, you can't. If you take either one of them, you're going to basically dilute all your receptors like that. So you're all of that week long withdrawal that you was going to have,
Yeah.
you're fixing to have every bit of that in about 8 hours.
Ooh,
Oh
man.
yeah, that's right. Now, that's right. And see, so now it's taking 5 or 6 days. Man, when I got sober, I waited 6 days, and the last time, and waited 6 days, took the sub, and still went into precept. Not bad, but enough that you didn't want none of it.
Yeah. I
I did
know.
it.
I didn't know what that was, no, but I heard something about a shot in Mexico you can get. It's supposed to be like overnight
I don't
cure.
know. I
Uh,
believe it. I believe there's more than it's probably something natural or something, man. Be something, you know what I mean? They don't want us to know. How long you been sober, man?
since 2012 when I got locked up.
Congratulations.
And everybody, let me put this out there too. Everybody won't say, "Well, I got a felony. It's hard to get a job." I've been out of prison. Uh, well, I actually got locked up in county 2011, but I
Hmm.
went to prison 2012, October 2012, and I got out in November 2014.
Okay.
And from the day that I got out on parole, I did 6 months of parole. I never have had a problem getting a job, and now I drive a truck for one of the biggest car manufacturers in the United States,
Right.
and you know, I ain't gonna say I do good, but I make about 8 grand a month, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm a
Yeah.
felon. I never had issues. It's
How
it's
good?
about how bad you want it.
There you go. And see, and I learned that. Um, there was a time when I couldn't get a job as a convicted felon, but it was a blessing because it led me to my own business anyway.
Right,
So this was a building time in my life. It's kind of how I look at that. This was when God was showing me, hey man, there's a lot of things you can do if you'll just stay sober. And I just wasn't ready to stay sober at the time.
right.
And so here we are now. So tell us how amazing your life is today, even though you went through all that.
Well, I tell you this. I'm glad I went through all that because I wouldn't be who I am today. The only part I hate about what I went through is okay. Prison gave me a prison mentality when I got out. My father-in-law, for instance, and it was only for about the first year. But I was sick one day in the bed with pneumonia, and he come in running his mouth, and I stood up, and my father-in-law just come walking towards me, like not threatful, not you know, but that prison mentality. All I did, I grabbed him and put him through a wall, and
Yep.
this happened about 2 years before he died, and I never forgave myself for that.
Yeah.
That's something I can't help, man. You grow that mentality. If somebody's coming towards you, you better get ready to fight.
That's
But
that's what people try to say, and when they ask me, what's the best thing to do in a fight? I said, fucking swing. What do you mean? I don't understand that question because that's where we are at. If you raise your voice or whatever to us, that means we're fixing to fight. It's time to
right,
swing. We done took it there. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And that is something hard to get out of. And mine is standing up against the wall on my back. I still am that same way. I have to face the entrance and stuff. I have to see what's coming and going and all that good
Still
stuff. Yeah.
constantly looking over your shoulders. Yeah.
Always.
But
I always
the
will be.
other the other thing that I hate is my kids. I've destroyed any hope that they've had of the fairy tale your parents give you when you're little that you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it because it's a free
Right.
country and you know that there's this wonderful life that you can live and I have showed my kids that when it comes down to it, you're controlled, man. We don't live in a free country. If
No.
it was a free country, you wouldn't have to ask permission to do things.
Exactly.
You
And
wouldn't have to have a license to drive. You wouldn't have to, you know, um, you just wouldn't have to do a lot of things you have to do.
wouldn't
But
damn sure wouldn't have to say a lot of the damn words you gotta say now.
right, right,
That's one of the things about TikTok, man. That I hate, I despise more than anything. But if you're gonna make videos on, if you're gonna make content on there, you gotta say that. If you don't, it's mine's not gonna get shown. They was already fixing to ban my account
right.
already, and I got it off of me now. But and TikTok, I needed TikTok, man. If I was gonna make it in what I'm doing, TikTok was huge in me doing it, and I made it. So, well, I think I made it. But anyway,
My first account was 52,000 followers, and they banned it when I started making money.
yeah. See, you can make money at 10,000 now.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was the same then, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying whenever I started actually like getting money,
Trying to make money, yeah.
but as far as my life being great, man, it is great. I don't live with a false reality that my life is nothing more than I have to follow rules to exist.
Yep, man, and that's a fact. Nothing is ours. We think we own everything, and
Yeah,
I know there's a way or here or there you can bury a loved one on your land and stuff like that. And but other than that, that's about the only way you can really own it because they can
yeah,
come take it anytime they want to. Man, I want to thank you for your time, man. This has been
yeah,
good. I hope everybody that watched this or listened to it or who does pays attention to what he says. Now we know firsthand right here that everything we're hearing is true. And uh, we're going to move on to other states because I know it's going on. Because I get messages all the time. Hey, man, it's going on here. It's going on there. It's going on in all of them. And some kind of reform needs to be done.
yeah. Bad.
But I want to say this: don't put yourself in that position, man. I'm
Right.
not talking about putting yourself. Well, don't get yourself in trouble first of all to go. But we all know how fast a simple mistake, man, can lead you there. When you get there, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, don't set yourself up for failure right through the door.
Let me say
Um,
one last thing, and I'll let you go. Being sober is the best part. If I wouldn't have got locked up, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be sober. I'd probably be dead.
And that is the best part. That's the best part of this whole story today is that here he is. He come out of what we're seeing now, one of the worst penitentiary systems it is in America, in my opinion. I'm sure there's some just as bad. We're going to find out. And he made it. And we all can make it. But the key is we got to stay sober, man. That's the only way. And
Yeah.
if we don't do that, you're not listen, you're not going to have nothing. There is not one. Show me a successful drug addict. And you might show me somebody that's just starting out, still got a little bit of money, but I guarantee you they keep on for a year, they're going to be in that box.
Right.
Somewhere. They're gonna be holding that sign out there. We'll work. Well, they don't even say that anymore. They just give me some money now. They don't even. Yeah. But anyway, all right,
Wow.
brother. Thank you, man. We'll be in touch. We'll get you on again. I appreciate your time, and everybody. Thank y'all for coming by. God bless you. God bless you and your family, man. We
You
pray
too.
for y'all and keep up the good work, man. Keep showing them we can do this.
All right, man. Thank you. You too.
All right, buddy. See you. See y'all.